To make one, it's a lot of times I see stuff that I think the head area, if the head's not right, the rest of it won't be. And the head area is kind of it's just a real big, it's a huge part of, that's the first thing you notice on a mount. So we've got the neck, I've, hot glued it in, so we're all good to go there. So I just kind of wanted to show a couple steps of how I do the clay work, and then especially on this, since it being, if it was flying and it was coming straight out, then I wouldn't have to do the relief cut. And I'm going to show that though, since there's a bend right here once you put the clay in the throat. On some species like shoveler, widgeon, buffalo, sometimes bufflehead, stuff with small openings around the bill, you have to make a incision on the non-show side. And I wanted to kind of show that. It was a good example, and that kind of gives it a little bit larger of an opening so it can fit over. So anyway, I'll kind of cut back in here and there, just kind of showing a few of the steps of where I'm putting clay, how much, and kind of the end goal of that. So be right back. Okay, so first thing I do is on the back of the head. So once you get that, and make sure it's nice and round, or if it's, like I said, flying ahead, straight ahead, it's still a nice smooth transition, because all that'll show up big time once the skin's on there. So now I'm going to do the throat, through the throat and kind of the basis for the eyes, and then we'll get to that. And then I should say too, when I put a patch underneath first, and that's just to kind of, just to give it the general shape. And then almost like an esophagus or something, I put, just make like a little band, and then that kind of goes close to the V. Just kind of press it in, bend over the sides, kind of wet my finger, and then just kind of work that up and down, up and down. And then as it starts to kind of take shape, so I'll smooth it out a little bit more, but it's the general idea of a nice sloping downwards for the shape. Okay, so then after I got that, what I do, this is kind of a ball of clay for the eye to go into. And the only thing I'm trying to achieve there is just something to put the eye into and push into, and obviously something to tuck the eyelid skin into. I also do like a little, just like you saw on the bottom, the little band. I do a small band along the top. Artificial heads, if you make them out of the real head like this one, or even a bought, one you buy, they're generally going to have like a little ridge on each side, like an eyebrow. But when you put the skin on, that causes like a divot. So I just put clay to basically make it flat. That way the skin on the top of the head it won't have that divot in the middle, and it kind of gives it a little bit more fuller shape. So then I just kind of center it up, press it in. So you're kind of wanting the depth where the eye is pretty close to parallel or flush with the head itself. So then I squeeze around, and then while holding the eye kind of there, because when I'm pushing down, I don't want to also push the eye way down. So I kind of hold the eye in place, push around, make sure the front and back is kind of pushed in, so you kind of get that nice channel when you're looking at it. Then I'll take it from the front, and I'll kind of just get the pupil, and then just kind of, bend it until it's all lined up. So if I need to go up, down, look from the top to see if, look from the top and see if I need to go this way, which way this way. And then once that's set, then we'll start pulling the head skin up. You know what, and actually this one's looking like it's going to be enough room around it so I don't have to do a relief cut, but I still want to explain it. So right where the V is on the bill, and there's that little bottom notch on the lower mandible. So there's a little triangle of skin right there, and then there's the V that goes in here. So what you'll do is get an X-Acto, and then all you can do here is just make a little incision, just this much, 1/16 of an inch. And then as you pull, it may tear a little bit more, but it's generally going to tear just as much as you need. And because when you're pulling up like around the bill, you're just trying to like keep working it, because you don't want to bend the if you set the eye